I figure the first step in the process of getting things cleaned out is get these old batteries out of here. I've already gotten one out. They're probably 60 pounds a piece easily. So my safety shoes on in case I drop the thing versus a set of flip-flops. Let's see how to get this forward. Oh, a bunch of cables in the way. An old battery bolt. There we go. Okay. And on the bottom you can kind of see how the battery tray's got a little corrosion and stuff in it. So it's kind of broken on that side too. I think those are about 30 bucks. That is if I decide to keep the batteries in the same spot, which I might move them. So gives you more options with the front passenger seat base. Switching out to a more comfortable seat. One of the other things that has to be done in any surplus Humvee is a lot of the wiring that is no longer needed. When they go to remove the radios and other stuff, they just cut it. So we've got loose wires for power and ground and everything. So it's good to always get that stuff out of there. You don't want to have a situation where the circuit you don't know about is grounding out, or the wires are just cut somewhere and going to give you trouble later on. So it's best to just start tracing wires and finding out where they go. The remnants of this ring terminal underneath all this silicone. I'm probably gonna come up with a better way to do this bus bar, that something other than just globbing silicone all over it and hoping for the best. Yeah, these two black wires here are antenna wires. You can see the center. There's the center conductor, the insulation, then the ground jacket. So those going all the way to the back fender, and they're zip tied along the way. So I'm going to get the ones up here and then pull it through and get it out. So same goes for this. This cable's just cut off. And I would guess that each of these were done probably a little bit differently, because just the nature of how things are, that where the wires were run, who ran them, things like that. But a little zip tie there. Yeah, there's one cable coming from each fender, since the vehicle had two antennas. And now I can pull the wire the rest of the way out. All things considered, things look pretty good under here. The rotors are rusty, I mean just from sitting. The pads are fairly thick still. That looks like there's a lot of life left on them, just as long as they're not basically stuck to the rotor. Underneath, yeah, there's some weeds growing in stuff. There's some mud on the control arms, but everything is in place. Looks to be pretty decent. All the cotter pins are in, all the ball joints and stuff on the wheels. It was at Saarland, which is down by Mobile, rather than at Albany or Yermo. So from the look of it and the tag inside, it was a National Guard truck. Hopefully it doesn't have any of the frame issues that some of the Marine Corps trucks were known for, with salt water getting in the frame rail and a place to drain out. So here we are underneath the truck, where the bus bar for the positive side of the battery passes through the body. And there's red wires here that are, well, not connected to anything. So I gotta get those free so I don't short anything out once I do put power to this thing. Yeah, everything is kind of wedged in here, that there's not much room between the frame and the body. And I'm trying to pass all these lines, fuel lines and transmission lines, and battery cables, and other stuff all go through in the same spot. So the ratcheting wrench definitely works a lot easier for this. Next to come off is going to be the extra wires that are on this ground lug. There's a lot of positive cables under here, and I don't want the wires flopping around and touching anything else, so it's best to remove them. And this is what remains of that, all those wires that I took out. I'm not sure if there's nut certs on the back of this or just nuts, but we're going to find out. Looks like nut certs. Or nuts. A nut that's actually loose enough where I can hold it in place with my finger until I drop it. So got that. I have to pull up that. Then these are the radio tray bolts. I'll give those a shot, see what happens there. Oh, that worked. Okay, so that's out. Let's get some pliers and see if I can pull that out. Oh, okay, it doesn't come out this way, it goes at the bottom. Alright, so to get that out, it goes out the bottom. So we'll see if we can fish the thing somewhere. It might be one of those instances where while it goes out the bottom, it might have to fall all the way to the floor. But, oh, no, there we go. Perfect. So that's what that looks like. Way overbuilt for what it seems to be. So 4.6 on this one. And now on the other one we got 0.57. That's not so good. So we'll have to do the trick and see if we can piggyback them onto another AGM battery and see what happens. Get the battery charger to turn on. Now that I got the battery on the right to come up on voltage, I've got it connected to the battery on the left to try to revive it a little bit so that the charger will actually start to charge it. We'll see. Give this a little bit of time, come back and check it and see what's going on.